Hey everybody, it's Blonde Blitz time. Let's go. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Blonde Blitz. My name is Deb Whitcas. I am referee Deb for this week. It's Halloween, and we have got a spooky episode for you. Ben Troupe, former tight end for the Titans and the Buccaneers, is joining me for Week 8 Hot Takes, and I get to finish his interview from last week. HGTV designer to the athletes, Shay Holland, is here. And so is the World Series. She has an exclusive interview with former MLB GM Bobby Evans, and they'll talk Dodgers and design. I also have intuitive energy reader Carrie, who's going to talk about how the planetary energies and moon phases align with NFL players' horoscopes. She's also going to use tarot cards to tell us which teams win and why in Week 9. And as always, betting expert Alex White joins us from Vegas for this week's Best Bet. And finally, Commissioner Cooper talks fantasy for Week 9. All right, guys, let's get this Halloween episode started. We're going to start off with a little spooky stuff. Carrie, get on in here. Hey, Carrie, how are you?
Hi, Deb. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Super excited to have you on this Halloween episode. Tell me a little bit about what you do and how it's going to pertain to football.
So I'm an intuitive energy reader, and I use personology and a little bit of astrology to help others, understand about what's going to be happening with them and making some predictions for their life in general.
Right. So I understand it's Scorpio season, right?
It is Scorpio season.
What exactly?
So, what does that mean? I bet people want to know. Well, Scorpios, first of all, it starts on October 21st is the first date of the Scorpio season. And then it rolls all the way into November 21st. So, right now we're deep into it. But we have the new moon in Scorpio that's going to be happening this Friday. And it's definitely going to be a jam-packed, full of energy time, but a lot of healing involved in that new moon too, right? So there's been a lot of injuries more than normal, I feel, this particular season. And there's been a lot of upsets because of that, by the way, since I play fantasy. I'm in a fantasy league, so it affects me. So, Scorpions tend to be more mysterious and private, and what comes with that is, as you're healing, you want to kind of be a little bit more excluded or isolated, right? So people might be feeling emotional or vulnerable, but it's a very transformative time for people, like in their careers or in their living spaces or even with their health. Okay.
So who in the NFL are Scorpios? Do you know?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of notable Scorpios. So we have Jordan Love from Green Bay, quarterback, tight end Zach Ertz, Odell Beckham Jr., Amon-Ra St. John, and Nick Bosa. So let's give a big happy birthday to them. And Jordan Love's birthday is actually coming up really soon. So I think it is on Friday. So, but everything's for Scorpio. It's in their first house, and that's about self-identity. So the way that they see themselves and how they make contributions to society and all of that great stuff, which obviously would mean about, their teamwork and their spirit. I think it's going to get a little bit of, their blood pumping, for sure. Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of successes already this year, this season in NFL. How are the planets aligning for some of these teams?
Well, specifically Virgo men. right? So Virgos in the months of late August into September, and one notable one is Patrick Mahomes, right?
Mhm.
So he's on a 7-game winning streak right now with the
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs, and it just, really, he's just, his own like big personality, right? But
Yeah.
he's a team player, very Virgoan in the sense of his structure, and you could tell by his creativity. Virgos are mutable signs, so they tend to be outside the box thinkers, and coming up with some really interesting plays at a last minute notice would definitely be something like that. But I
And that's
also kind
you
of
just named Patrick Mahomes completely.
yeah, right. I was
Yeah,
like, boom, he's
literally just
Virgo.
took it out of my head. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, just got to mention because Dodgers might be closing it out
Yes.
tonight. We don't know yet, but haven't been actually, and I think it's going to just start now. But Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers is a Virgo also, and him and his grand slam that happened. I mean, it's not football, but got to give props to these Virgo men who are definitely rising to the occasion in their career successes. So.
Awesome. And then you mentioned a little bit about the injury report. A lot of injuries this season. The plants have anything to do with that?
Mostly, well, and planets obviously always affect that, but I'm going to go back to moon phases. So when one has a full moon, it's about releasing something. Sometimes that's an attitude, sometimes that's and specifically attitude about like their health, for example.
Okay.
And we just had a full moon back in September, like the first week of September 7th.
So that was when
And
the started. Yeah.
yeah, that's when the season started. And no doubt that from that point, 7 months out and 7 months prior, there's like just a lot of like energy around releasing sometimes the attitude of like, oh, I got this, my health's okay. Well, there's some notable Pisces, unfortunately, that have definitely had incurred some injuries. And for example, Pisces is a sign, it's a water sign, but it's ruled by your feet. Okay.
I'm a Pisces,
And
so
also the lower. Yes, me too. And so
yeah.
it's like, and the lower extremities. So we're, super sensitive there. But it just so happens that, like specifically Tyreek Hill, he had a foot injury, right? Cordell Patterson's also a Pisces. These guys are Pisces, and they've,
Wow.
Patterson had an ankle injury specifically,
Yes.
So yeah, so
I just
the
got
full
chills.
moon in Pisces should have been, I mean, Pisces folks should have been a little bit more, protective about specifically their feet, ironically,
Interesting.
yeah. And in general, other Pisceans that were also having problems at this time or have come into some issues, like Tua with his concussion, he's a Piscean, and then also Najee Harris, with his ribs. So, just being careful, having a little bit more due diligence, about one's health in particular. So it's just kind of interesting, how one's birth chart, which is their birth location and birth time and birth date, match up and pair with like planetary movement and moon phases. And so the birth chart is essentially kind of like a roadmap to one's like life. So, you can really like make that work for you. Yeah.
All right, Carrie. Well, this has been amazing. I want to bring you back at the end of the
Thank
show
you.
because I want to
Yes.
do week 9 picks, and we'll talk about games
Yes.
and everything. So we'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Now we have Ben Troupe, former tight end for the Titans and the Buccaneers. He's joining us for week 8 hot takes. Ben. Ben, how are you?
What's going on? I'm just sitting here listening to all these zodiac signs and Pisces, and I'm a Virgo myself. So when I heard the whole Patrick Mahomes, I did not have the career that Patrick Mahomes had. But shout out to the Virgos, and I saw the Scorpios, Odell Beckham. I said, listen, I don't know about it. I respect it, but hey, it was crazy to see all these foot injuries and
yeah,
this is crazy.
Wild. Yeah,
man,
did
wow.
she just
Please
called
don't
us?
let these players listen, Deb. You do a great job. Please don't let these players start hearing about their zodiac sign. How
Right?
long would it take to have a zodiac sign specialist on the staff? Doing reading. Because when I tell you NFL, they want anything that's going to give you a competitive edge. They spend the money. No doubt.
Well, maybe they'll watch the show and something will happen. You know what I mean? Like
It
maybe
might.
they'll bring
Listen,
Carrie on staff. You never know, right?
If Patrick Mahomes in the offseason says, "What's your secret?" Oh man, I got a zodiac sign specialist. Watch how they just start popping up. But hey, man, to each his own.
Games, right?
No doubt.
Whatever wins games. All right, Ben, let's get to week 8 hot takes. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels, Hail Mary win for the Commanders. Oh my God, I just had to talk about it.
It was crazy. I think the thing that stands out the most about Jaden Daniels is how poised he is. Like nothing, no situation seems too big. No situation. And I think for him, he wants the craziest situation so he can show. This go back to how many games before he had the beautiful pass to scare Terry down the sideline. And you start, because a lot of people, when you talk about the draft of these players, yes, you knew who Jaden Daniels was. He won the Heisman at LSU, but no one knows how good he is because good players go to bad teams.
He was also picked number 2. I think it's kind of a vengeance thing.
Taylor Williams on the other sideline, right? And now, Mr. Tyreek Stevenson, look, I'm not going to blame it all on you. I get it. Now, here's a cardinal rule. Number 1 rule when it comes to Hail Marys is this: if you're on defense, knock the ball down. Don't knock it up in the air. Don't try to get an interception. And with so many cameras, a.k.a. cell phones and all these different things, the fact that was turned before the play, he turned around like, oh. And then to give up the Hail Mary, that's a walk-off. And I think for a team like Chicago, with Caleb Williams at quarterback, you need to stack as many wins as you can, because who knows? Because that division is crazy when you look at what the Lions are doing, you look at what Jordan Love is doing with the Packers and things of that nature. So I think that in Minnesota, that entire division is tough.
It's a tough division.
It is. I think
it's be on 24/7. Yeah.
Hail Marys might be the hardest thing to do in sports because so many things got to go your way, and that receiver just slid out to the back. He caught it, and if they show both sidelines, you got the Commander sideline, Dan Quinn, and he got the other sideline with Chicago. 2 total different reactions. But like I say, if you got a Jaden Daniels somewhere in the general vicinity, you better go get you one. This kid is electric, and what can I say? The mysteriousness of, or the if you want to call it just the growing love, and superstardom that is Jaden Daniels. Look out, man! The kid he's good. He's taking a bad team and make it. They're leading the division right now. So
absolutely. Eagles might be coming up on him, but you never know. No, and then I'm a Commanders fan too, so I've said it a million times. I'm excited for Terry McLaurin, and I mean already Jaden Daniels has already kind of broken records as in the last 5 to 7 years of the QBs that have been there. Alex White, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke. Like, I mean, it's been, he's already breaking records. So
the last time I want to say, let's see. I mean, RG3. He won. They were the Redskins. Then they're the Commanders. Now I get it. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins was there too.
Donovan McNabb, Sam Howell. The hardest question to solve in football is the quarterback. If you can answer that question for a long time, you got a shot to be really good. I hope that he stays healthy. Love the way Jaden Daniels plays the game of football. Jaden Daniels for the Commanders is what they want Caleb Williams to be for Chicago. Only difference is you can't coach swag, man. You can't coach confidence, and Jaden Daniels dripping with swag is confidence. And confidence only comes when you win the games and playing well. I don't care how confident you are if you're not winning. When you winning, everybody wants what you have. And if you're losing, hey, man, you can keep that drink. You can keep that product. No one wants a product that don't sell. If you got this, I don't know what Jaden Daniels' jersey sales are right now, but I'm pretty sure it's top 10 in the league right now. Got it.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, it has to be. Well, moving on to another quarterback. We'll wait for the car. Anthony Richardson. He admitted to tapping out of a game.
Yeah, Deb, no matter what the head coach says, we know okay, just say you're gonna bench him because of this play, and that's fine. I'm not saying it. That decision becomes much easier when Anthony Richardson said I was tired. Because Dale, think about this. Dale,
you're a former player. Like, did you ever tap out? Like,
if I did, I'm not going to admit it. I'm not, if you ask me if I tapped out, okay, right. But if you say, hey Ben, why you take yourself out? Oh man, I was feeling something in my ankle. I was feeling something. Because as soon as I say, oh, I was tired. What do you mean? Because think about that press conference. When he said that, there were people that, I mean, there were analysts and columnists that said, wait. What did you just say? I was tired.
Yeah.
You're 22 years old, in the best shape of your life. Yeah. You're actually a dual threat quarterback. So running is a part of your repertoire, part of your resume, part of your makeup. And you said out, I guarantee you, whoever the PR person is for the Colts was like, oh my, did you just say? Because I think sometimes we forget. We're watching players do two things. We're watching them, go out there on the field and show their talent. And I'm showing poise and character when I'm sitting down talking to people. And if I'm the quarterback, I'm the face of the franchise. Yep. He told the truth, but sometimes, hey man, kind of alter a little bit. He'll learn from it. I do think he'll get a shot to play again.
Okay. And I saw they benched him for Flacco, and I mean, I'm assuming that statement had a lot to do with it.
Joe Flacco is 8 days older than Anthony Richardson's mom. That's how. Joe Flacco is in year 17. People go, is Joe Flacco a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson? No. Is Joe Flacco a better quarterback for what the Colts need? Yes, because they're 4-4. This division can still be won by them. And ask Jordan Love, ask Phillip Rivers, ask Aaron Rodgers, ask any quarterback that got a chance to sit. I need to see. I need to see the field. No, I don't think you get better by watching, but I do think Anthony Richardson, just like a Bryce Young, just like these quarterbacks that get thrown in early to real bad teams. Mm-hmm. Well, bad teams were bad before I got here. Am I supposed to make the team good? I mean, I'm supposed to do that, but not in year 1 or year 2. So Anthony Richardson is going to learn a lot from this, and he's going to realize hopefully when he comes back, being 6'4", 245 pounds, can run a 4.4 is great, but we need you to be healthy, and we need you to not be tired. At least don't admit it. I'm just saying.
Right. We need you not to be tired. We're going from a younger quarterback to an older quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. The Jets are 2-6 and are dismal. He's just said he's been in the darkness and you need to make peace with it. Are we looking at the downfall of Aaron Rodgers here?
I think we're looking at the age of Aaron Rodgers, right?
Because, that's fair.
I mean, here's the thing. What is he, Bane now? You got to embrace the darkness. Darkness is your ally.
It fits for Halloween, but that's about it, right?
I was thinking about Aaron Rodgers there. Aaron Rodgers is his own worst enemy, right? Aaron Rodgers, you got your head coach fired. Because owners don't meet with players. I'm not saying he's the sole reason, but we brought you in to win. We didn't win. You got your friend over there again. That go Devontae, right? There. Yep. But I think the thing is, it's half Aaron Rodgers. The other half, the Jets. This defense is not as good as it's been in the past, and the Jets have an identity problem. The missing pieces to the Jets gonna be more than a quarterback. And it's not to be telling nobody the ages or whatever. I am a year older than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was born 83. I was born 82, so I'm repping them 80s babies, right? 41-year-old quarterbacks can be good, but I think guys like Peyton Manning and, guys like Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, these are the exceptions. Mm-hmm. This is not the rule. I am not saying Aaron Rodgers can't play the game of football, but when you're 41 years old in professional sports, you don't get off the ground as quick when you get hit. It takes you longer to just get going. You ain't my rookie year, I'm coming out of a meeting, and I played with Steve McNair. Steve McNair is 10 years older than me. So here I am. I'm 22. I don't even know if I was 22 yet. The meeting is over, and I'm getting ready to run out the room, man. And it's something he said. He said, hey, and he was – I know he didn't kind of know my name yet. He was kind of pointing at me and snapping. I said, my name Ben. Oh, Ben, yes. He said, how old are you? I said, 21, 22. He said, I'm 32. And he looks at the offensive coordinator and said, he only needs 5 minutes to get ready. I'm 32. I need 30 minutes to get ready. right? Just to get my, and I think that's the thing about Aaron Rodgers is he can make the throws, but he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna get hit a lot, Deb. So, but he asked for all this stuff. Aaron Rodgers talks a lot in the offseason about not missing no days, having a winning mentality. What does he do? Not show up the offseason. So it's and I don't think Aaron Rodgers was ready for the Big Apple with this type of Big Apple. That's a lot of criticism. That's a lot of feedback. New York Post, New York Times, radio shows, podcasts, and Aaron Rodgers wants you to live in what he's done. Now, what he's doing, four-time MVP, Super Bowl MVP, that's in the past, though, Aaron. What about now? Because guess who else went to the Jets and played well in older in his career? That would be Brett Favre. He went to the Jets and played well, but I don't think it's all his fault. I think it's more the Jets than anything else. They're not going to really compete in that division. And if you can't beat the Bills, which they can't, if you're probably going to lose to the Dolphins, which they will, it's going to be much to do about nothing. You just lost to the Patriots. It ain't going to get much worse than that at this point. Shout out to Jerry.
You lose to the Panthers.
If you lose to the Titans, then you got a problem. You lose to the Titans,
right?
You got a problem. You got a big problem.
Right. Well, let's move on to one more team that's losing a lot more than anyone thought, the Bengals. What are your thoughts on the Bengals? Are they done? What's the issue? Joe Burrow blames the rush attack. There was only 58 rushing yards against the Eagles, but what are your thoughts?
I think that I will say the same, real similar to what I said about the Jets. The Bengals have a lot of star power, not a lot of wins. You got Chase. You got Burrow. I know T. Higgins, he hurt his hamstring in the pregame, wasn't able to play. I think the unrealistic expectations on Aaron Rodgers is the same thing on Joe Burrow. You just expect Joe Burrow to do it because he's been to a Super Bowl. Yeah, but that was an outlier. I'm not saying Joe Burrow can't do it. I'm not saying Jamar Chase and Hendrickson, those guys can't do it. But Deb, come on, man, let's stop kidding ourselves. Like, we expect the Bengals to compete, and and Joe Burrow is playing well, but Joe Burrow doesn't tackle. Joe Burrow doesn't block. Joe Burrow, he goes out there and make plays. And I think the thing is, okay, can you beat Pittsburgh? Maybe. Can you beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens? Maybe. And that's the thing is that division going to be hard to come out of. You're looking at a wild card right now more than anything. But I appreciate what Joe Burrow brings to the mentality of an entire franchise. But it's the Bengals now. Let's stop kidding. And I think that's the thing is we want to act like the Bengals ain't the Bengals. Nothing against Joe Burrow and Chase and company, but Deb, come on now. Like, we were just surprised when Cincinnati, who had the worst offensive line in football, made it all the way to the Super Bowl. They made it all the way. And I said, and had a chance to win it. But sometimes that's your Super Bowl window. And that might be it. People think, we'll be back. Why? Because you're young? Why? Because you got a top 5 quarterback in Joe Burrow, a top 5 receiver in Jamar Chase, a top 15 receiver in T. Higgins. I like them on offense, but unfortunately they got to play defense and special teams. I just think they're not going to outscore teams. That's all.
All right. Just had a technical difficulty there. You know what? Do you want to do the interview this week, or you want to switch it to next week? Because I feel like
you tell me this. You tell me how you want, but I'm ready.
All right, let's do one more hot take, and then we'll interview next week.
All right.
Cool? All right, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Eagles or the Browns?
Listen, of course we're going to talk about the Browns. Of course.
All right, let's do it. They beat the Ravens last week.
Yes.
Like, I'm still shocked. My mouth is still dropped open. Sean Watson obviously out with an injury. Jameis Winston in. I mean, is the team better without Watson?
Oh yeah, and that's hard to say. I'm saying that respectfully. I'm not one of these people that's trying to pile on Deshaun Watson when he's down. Well, but Dad, tell the truth. When you watch Deshaun Watson, it's almost like you're saying, what is going on? Like, come on. It's like you're saying, come on. And we forget, Deshaun Watson was out of football almost 2 years, right? Whatever, dealing with his offseason stuff at the quarterback position. And then when you come back, you with the Browns. And then when they make the playoffs, it was Joe Flacco that took them to the playoffs, not you.
That's right. Yep.
Jameis Winston is
Joe Flacco, by the way.
Jameis Winston is a great football story, right? Because number 1, former number 1 overall pick, never saw himself being an NFL journeyman. But the sound bites, the pregame, the postgame, the hype up, videos, different things. But I'm just happy for Jameis Winston because sometimes we thought that the last time we were going to see him was when he had 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and got cut by the Bucs, went over to the Saints. Here he is starting again in the National Football League. And depending on how the rest of the season goes, he could be playing for a contract extension. Maybe not with the Browns, but you need a lot of quarterback help. But I was very, 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 very impressed with the Browns. Very, very disappointed with this Ravens defense. Very, very disappointed.
Right. And I mean, watching him, I was like, he should have been the quarterback the entire time. Like, what were we doing with Deshaun Watson? Like, what? Why? Yeah.
Look at this there. Listen, you a big time writer, producer, just doing your thing, when it comes to paying the bills. If I got an actor or an actress that I'm paying, I don't know what they pay people an episode. I ain't counting nobody's money. But if I'm paying, actor X, $1 million an episode, you gonna do these episodes? What?
Absolutely.
You gonna get that? And football.
You have that contract. It's signed. You're delivering.
Yeah. You are the owner of the Browns. You paying the player $40 million. He gonna say, "Hey, Deshaun say his stomach hurt. Well, he better take some Pepto and get his behind out there. If he ain't hurt, he got to play because I can't pay a player that much money to watch if he's not hurt. Now, if he's hurt, that's different. But
right, that's true.
Yeah, but listen, let me say this again. Money doesn't justify production. Sometimes money is built in, it's built in because of the position that you play. If you play the quarterback position, you're gonna get a lot of money. But the problem was Deshaun Watson signed his contract when he was in the middle of an investigation. He hadn't played football for 2 years. That's the type of decisions the Browns make. So, but I am wishing for a speedy recovery. For 2025 and 2026, I think that he's counting like around $70 million on the cap 2 years in a row. That's a lot of dead money, man. That's a lot of dead money. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, Ben. Thank you so much. We'll finish up your interview next week. Always excited to have you here, guys. Make sure you tune in after the show because Ben's show, No Weddings in the Fall, is after the show. So go ahead, guys. Tune on. Ben, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, keep doing your thing. Appreciate it.
All right. All right, guys, it's Halloween, and it's also the World Series. It's Dodgers versus Yankees. Everyone knows this. I know this is a football show, but my heart was MLB. My dad played in the minors for the Phillies, so I had to include a little bit of baseball on this one. HGTV designer to the athletes, Shay Holland, is here. She has an exclusive interview with former MLB GM Bobby Evans, and they're going to talk Dodgers and design.
Just built different.
Bobby Evans, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Shay?
I'm doing so good. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to take over this segment because Bobby and I have actually known each other for a long time when it comes to both baseball and home care. We're going to maybe get to the home part later, but I want to jump right into this World Series talk because you called this Monday saying that the Yankees were going to be on fire at home. What are you making of this World Series so far?
Hey, it's a pitching duel that you thought the Yankees would have the advantage. It's actually been the opposite with the Dodgers guys coming through until last night. And then as we see even tonight, the Yankees are off to a hot start. So they've cooled off Freddie Freeman for the first couple of at-bats here. And it's a fun series to watch. I mean, it's the 12th time, I think, in history that these guys have faced off, the Dodgers and Yankees. It's a historic matchup. And for these two teams, they're clearly two of the best in baseball and have some of the best and most popular players, some of the best offenses in the game, and we're seeing a lot of runs last night, and otherwise the Dodgers have been dominating.
Yeah, this has been some fun baseball with all the runs, and I didn't properly introduce you. You were with the Giants for what, 23 years, 25 years?
Yeah, 25 years with the Giants and a few years in the commissioner's office, so almost 30 years in baseball. And and just proud to see our great game continuing to be exciting. And it's always more fun when the Giants are in the World Series. But hey, it's a great matchup, so we can't miss out.
And these guys, like Dave Roberts, GM of the Dodgers, of course, and you signed him with the Giants, didn't you?
Well, Dave Roberts, yeah, he played for us a couple of years, and now he's been the manager of the Dodgers. For now this is his, I think, third World Series as manager, and of course he was a big part of the Red Sox winning the World Series in 2004. We got him a couple of years after that to play that center field for us, but. As great a manager, as great a ball player as he was, he's even a better person. And, obviously he's done a really great job there in LA, and they're lucky to have him.
So what's going through his mind tonight, right now?
Well, I mean, as you get ready for a game like this, I mean, you've got a 3-1 advantage. You've got to find a way to finish the series. You don't want to have to go back to LA as much as you want to win at home. You want to win and finish this thing off tonight. And again, being down early, I think 3-0, they've got their work cut out for them. But this is not the kind of start that you want, giving up runs early in the game. And so I think Dave Roberts is looking at his starters, trying to figure out how to, after using a bullpen game last night, he really wants to see the starter go a little deeper. And unfortunately, it's off to the races for the Yankees so far.
Well, as soon as I saw the rain last night, I was wondering if that might be a little bit of a factor as well. Our Dodgers are sunshine boys.
Yeah, well, it's cold, and yeah, it's a different environment, and the Yankees are used to it, and so it's an advantage Yankees right now. Of course, they're playing at home, and being down 3-0, they had nothing to lose last night because they had to take one or they were going home, and the series was over. And now again, they're off to a good start tonight. So they're want to go back to LA and take it to a game 6. And this is the 24th time, I think, since 1970 that the World Series started out 3-0, and 21 times the series has ended in a sweep since 1970. So the Yankees are trying to do something that's hard to do, which is to take it to a game 6.
Well, I've heard there are very few teams that have been able to come back from that kind of a deficit. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, 24 times in the last what is that, 50 years, and only nobody has come back from 3-0 deficit. Nobody has come back, and in fact, 21 of those times it ended in a sweep. Only 3 of those times it ended up going to a game 5. Never has it gone to a game 6. So the Yankees are trying to do something that hasn't been done. So we'll see how they do tonight.
Well, and Brian Sabian, who is their advisor, brought you into the Giants, right?
Yeah, he hired me back in 1994. Has been a great mentor and friend, and it's no surprise to see the Yankees back in the World Series with Brian Sabian there. He was a big part of the Yankees' early dynasty of the late '90s, and drafted Derek Jeter and brought a lot of their great stars at that time to the Yankees. And then Brian Cashman has been running the organization for a long time now. But Brian's back, and it's an opportunity for him to assist Brian Cashman. They worked together many years ago, and again, they're back in the World Series, and I'm sure that's a big part of why Brian Sabian went back, because nobody likes to win more than Brian Sabian.
No, we know Brian's intensity. That is for sure. So, and also obviously with Shohei Ohtani going to the Dodgers, tell me a little bit about, I know that you were part of some early talks with him with the Giants, but they did not get him obviously last year in the bidding war. What was that like with him, and what kind of guy is he?
Well, my time pursuing Shohei Ohtani with the Giants was back when he was in Japan, and he was coming over to the States, and we had a chance to put some of our best people in front of Shohei and try to give him really the sales pitch to become a San Francisco Giant. But at the time, we did not have the DH in the National League, and I think that's what Shohei was expecting to do, is DH when he's not pitching, and that's why he ended up with the Angels, I think, and really a great market in LA for him. And I think that's why during this offseason, even though the Giants did pursue him, I think there was an advantage for LA. Now the Dodgers being very successful in the postseason, and the Angels not so much. So I think that he wanted to go somewhere he could compete and have a chance to win a World Series and stay in the LA market. And it made it tough for the Giants to get him again. And so long-term contract, big commitment, but so far he's shown he's well worth it after a historic season.
What about the injuries he's had, though? I mean, the guy just seems like kind of a machine that works through them, but at some point it seems like he's going to have to slow down or something.
Yeah, well, he wasn't able to pitch this year, and that's part of the greatness that he is his ability to pitch and hit. And then the other day, sliding into second, strained his shoulder. So, that's probably going to require some rehab. But he's a fighter. I mean, he's out there. He's still playing. Maybe not as effective so far in the comeback after the injury at second base. But again, it's inspiring for, I think, the Dodger players to see him still going out there, and he's still a threat. So Yankees still have to pitch through him to get to the World Series, to get a championship, that is.
Yeah, and LA has definitely welcomed him with open arms, and he's just been just an incredible asset to the team so far. The 50-50 club this year was obviously revolutionized baseball, first time ever. So here in LA, he lives not too far from the stadium. You've spent probably more time at Dodger Stadium than I have, even though you don't live here, about 10 minutes north of there. And I know you and I both have transitioned into doing stuff with homes, and he is actually as well. He just bought another property in Hawaii. I think he's got one in Japan. He's got the one here. And your business, tell us a little bit about your business and then what you would advise him as far as these properties.
Well, a long time ago, Steve Spratt, our founder, had a vision to make sure homeowners did a better job of being proactive and taking care of their homes. And so he built a business called Home Preservation, and it's focused in the Bay Area, particularly Silicon Valley, all the way up to San Francisco. And it's serving homes to help homeowners take care of their homes so it maintain the value, the safety, and comfort of their home. Many homeowners buy homes that they can somehow afford to buy, but they can't afford to maintain it. And when you don't take care of your home, it ultimately depreciates in value, and you require some last minute repairs and projects to get your home ready for sale to get the best value for your home. And what we do is we try to help homeowners do those repairs and projects as they go along so that they can continue to enjoy it, but also maintain the value and reduce ultimately their expenses by being proactive and not letting things become bigger issues or bigger problems because they didn't stop them while they could. And I know that Shohei Ohtani is not going to have any problem affording to maintain his home, but many homeowners though do buy homes that they can't afford to maintain. And it's important that we maintain our homes just like we maintain our cars, our health, our teeth, and everything else. Our homes are probably one of our largest assets we'll ever own, and yet we sometimes avoid ways the things that we need to do to take care of them.
And I think the other day you told me you went from home plate. What was the saying?
Yeah. Well, I spent a career focusing on home plate or home runs to focusing on home care. So, just a play on words, but yeah, it's fun. It's always been a passion of mine, the real estate market, particularly in the Bay Area. So it's a chance to, give back a little on the other side of things. And yet I stay involved in baseball in different ways. And ultimately, there'll be opportunities, I think, in the future to be more involved. But Future Star Series is one that I've been very involved in, where we work with high school athletes around the country to help them make sure they get seen, evaluated, and drafted or signed to go to college. And Jeremy Booth has built a great program to help players that many times get missed. And Future Star Series does a great job around the country helping these young athletes get the most out of their ability from a development side and ultimately from an opportunity side.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And my last question for you. So I understand that there may be a pretty swift return to MLB for you. Is a third World Series ring potentially, or a fourth? You would have a fourth, actually, wouldn't you? You have 3 of them, don't you?
I do have 3, but yeah, you never know. I mean, it's so exciting for the Giant fans, I think, to see Buster Posey back with the Giants. And so, anything could happen. I think Buster's focused on his GM search right now, and maybe there's opportunities for many of us out there to interview and be considered for opportunities. And it's just great to have Buster more and more involved. I think he brings a tremendous presence and leadership style and passion for not only the game but passion for the Giants, and a believer in what it takes to be successful. And I know that he's a part of the ownership group as well. So it's a really great combination. I think it gives fans a lot of confidence as they look ahead to what the Giants have in store. And it's a tough division. I mean, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers are all doing extremely well right now. So he's taking over the Giants at a time where the competition couldn't be greater. So there's a lot of work to do, but confident in Buster and the team, and and ownership to find the right path. And maybe there'll be an opportunity to be a part of it. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested, but we'll see. At least as he starts working down the path of the off season and bringing them back into a championship level baseball.
Yeah, Bobby, always such a blast to talk baseball with you. As I told the audience at the beginning, we go way back. I think you were the first person I met when I moved to California. So we've known each other most of our adult lives. And it's been so exciting to be part of MLB with you and to see that journey. Last question, what is it like when a team wins a World Series? Like, we go to the parade and we see all of that excitement. But when you're on the inside of that, does it feel life-changing? Does it feel surreal? What is that mentality like?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely hard to do. I mean, we had many great seasons that didn't result in even a World Series berth, and even one in 2002 where we got beaten in 2002. And so it's I think it really is amazing bond that is created. We just celebrated the 10th anniversary of the 2014 team, and you look at the players that came back for that reunion, and you just see the bond as if they had never been apart, and yet they're still connected by something very special. All of us in the front office, those players on the field, the coaches, Bruce Bochy is the manager. Just that bond is very special. And ultimately, this is a people business. And when you're able to celebrate the accomplishments that really everybody contributes to, it's very meaningful. Ultimately, nobody should be looking for this to fill the emptiness in their life, but it does bring you a lot of satisfaction as you look at all the hard work and all of the different efforts that go into accomplishing great things. And it's very elusive. I mean, it's very hard to do. And the great Tom Brady said his favorite ring was the next one, and I'm sure the next ring for the Giant fans will be their favorite too.
So before I let you go, Dodgers in 6, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that was my early prediction, just because they have just such an incredible lineup, and they also have a good pitching staff and tough bullpen. And I was really surprised to see him go up 3-0 though. And so now you see Aaron Judge homer tonight. That's a great sign for the Yankees, and it gives you all the more reason to believe there should be a game 6 if the game continues as it is tonight. But there's no guarantees. I mean, if you're the Dodgers, the last thing you want to do is have to go back to LA to win another one. But at the same time, if you're going to win at home, make sure it's game 6, because you don't want to go game 7.
Yeah, definitely do not. I remember game 7. Don't I? Am I remembering correct? 2002, was that a game 7?
That was a game 7. That was tough.
Yeah. I don't want to bring it up, but I distinctly remember that very clearly.
No, that's right.
I know. I really appreciate you being here tonight and just giving your insider information on MLB. We'll see who takes it home for the World Series this year. And now we're going to head back to Deb Whitcas, who will continue with the Blonde Blitz and NFL.
All right. Thank you so much, Shay and Bobby. That was great. Go Dodgers, right? Okay, so talking about baseball, you all know the popularity of baseball cards, of course. Well, there's also football cards, too. And not only cards, Halloween cards. So the 2021 Score a Treat set is a Halloween themed set, which consists of 349 cards. Top rookies in the set include Jaden Daniels, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, and many others. Each pack includes 3 cards, with 40 packs coming in a bundle pouch. So you'll have plenty to give out to the kiddos. Each kid will get 3 cards per pack, an orange pumpkin, a green bat, and a 2024 rookie of either variant. So it's also possible to get a black candy variant of any card, but that is apparently super rare. Think of these cards as a complement to the usual sweet candy treats that you would normally give out in Halloween. These packs are also meant to be affordable, with a retail price of just over $20 per bundle. You can buy them at Amazon or Walmart.com. These 2024 Score a Treat football cards are meant for trick-or-treaters. However, they're adults already have their hands on them. There was a couple that I saw on eBay. Jaden Daniels, his 2024 Panini Score a Treat Rising Star Pumpkin number 26 was going for $246. All right, guys, let's get into some sports betting coming to us from the South Point Casino in Las Vegas. As usual, betting expert Alex White is here to give you her best bet or your best bet for week 9.
Alex White here from Sports by the Book at the South Point studio. Happy to be on the Blonde Blitz once again. The last 2 weeks we lost by 1 point in each of our picks. We need a winner this week. Week 9 in the NFL. We're going with a total. Las Vegas Raiders going to Cincinnati. The total is 46. I think this number is too low. We are going with the over. This is not your vintage Raiders defense. They're giving up the 6th most points in the league. We know the struggles that the Bengals have had on that side of the ball, especially at home. They're 3-1 to the over, allowing an average of 33 points per game. We're going to see a boost for their offense this week, though. They get T. Higgins back. We just saw it happen with the Raiders, who got Jacoby Myers back. A lot of offense, not very good defenses. Over 46 is the play. Everybody have a safe and happy Halloween. I'll see you again next week.
All right, thanks, Alex. You can catch Alex on Punchlines with Frank Nicotero on South Point Casino's YouTube, as well as Sports by the Book, and of course on IG at Alex White with 2 E's at the end. All right, guys, we cannot talk about sports betting without fantasy. Commissioner Cooper, what do you got?
We're on a mission, guys. We're on a mission, guys.
Hello, Deb, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. It's almost here,
I didn't have a costume, so I put a hoodie on, so I look like a Grim Reaper. And I'm here to bring you some scary DFS lineup picks. Let's look at this week and look who we have here at QB. It's no other than Pat Mahomes coming in at a very cheap price for a very good, decent QB. Has had its struggles this year, but guess what? Playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are dead last against fantasy QBs. So this is a great matchup for Pat Mahomes. Definitely a good play. Devon Achane from America's team, the Miami Dolphins. Tough matchup against the Bills. However, where they're not tough is right up the middle. They are 31st against fantasy running backs. Love the matchup there. Chase Brown against the Raiders. They're 24th against fantasy running backs, and he's coming in at a cheap price, $5,900. Gotta like that. Gabe Davis, because who else is going to catch the ball in Jacksonville? They're going to have to throw to get in this game. I know he's been injured, but looks all reports like he's going to play, and he's a great play in this matchup and a very cheap price at $5,000. Calvin Ridley also just popped up today on the injury report, so forgive me. The Patriots, however, they're 25th against fantasy receivers. So at a cheap price, this is a really good matchup. And DeAndre Hopkins, again, going against Tampa Bay. Talked about him dead last against fantasy QBs. They're 28th against receivers, obviously, and he's coming in at a cheap price. So I like the combo stack with Mahomes. And let's go back to that matchup with Cade Otton, who against the Chiefs, who have been a great defense, but they are also dead last against fantasy tight ends, and he's coming in at a cheap price, so I like that there. In the flex spot, Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper, no pun intended, but against Jacksonville's 29th against fantasy receivers. So I did pay up, but because I had such a cheap lineup, I could pay up and get that money in the flex spot. And then I went with the Commanders defense, who is going against the Giants, who are 30th. Overall on offense. So gotta like that matchup as well. So there you go. Happy Halloween to everyone at the Blonde Blitz. We appreciate you. And that is my scary DFS lineup.
All right, Commissioner Cooper, thank you so much. I've got Patrick Mahomes this week. I cannot wait. I can't wait to win. All right,
Awesome.
guys. Thank you so much, Jason. We'll see you soon. Finally, it's time for week 9 game picks. Carrie's back with her tarot cards, which are actually playing cards. It's super cool to give us a peek into the future for week 9. And guys, just so we know, we taped this before Anthony Richardson was benched, so no mean comments, all right? And guys, happy Halloween. Eat lots of candy, and may the best teams win. Week 9 picks. Cannot wait to do this. All right, we got Dolphins versus Bills Sunday at 1 p.m. Who's going to win that one?
That's going to be an interesting one, guys, because first of all, Josh Allen is like super hot right now. And he is a Gemini. He's a mutable sign. And he's been really, I think, working up to this point, even in his own career, I'm thinking. So, and poor Tua, you know, I mean, you know, let's give him some Pisces love, you know, our dear fishy fellow water sign. So, we got some cards here, guys. So, I'll be just pulling from this and let's just see, you know, what we have here. So, this is for Mr. Allen. Okay, so 5 of Hearts, 5 of Cups, which is interesting because he's feeling like in the last like 5 games, he hasn't really overly showed up. And so I feel like, you know, he's having to like come off of that like mental, like, you know, stuckness. Like 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks ago.
Okay, I feel like I feel like Josh Allen started a little slower than normal.
Yeah, something like that.
And something's just been a little off. I mean, he seems to be on fire now.
Oh, super on fire now. Super on fire now. But then like Tua, okay, so he's got something to prove. Okay. 3 of Clubs, which is basically like 3 of Pentacles, you know, fighting for his money, you know, standing up and really defending his name. Yeah. And he's a great athlete, guys, you know, no doubt about that. But I really feel that this is definitely going to be a last-minute game, end of game, like coming down to the wire, last quarter type of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because the Dolphins lost last week and the Bills won last week. So, yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty good game.
It should be a good game. Yeah. But I'm the outcome is the Ace of Diamonds, which is, it's going to be like a really close game. It's going to come down to the wire. And I'm going to, even though Josh Allen got the 5 of Cups, I'm going to still give him the win. So. Okay.
And I agree. I think that the Bills are a stronger team. They're a more balanced team from the Dolphins at this point.
Right.
You know, at the time. So.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Chargers versus Browns Sunday at 1 p.m. We've got Justin Herbert versus Jameis Winston. And Jameis Winston, you know, went in for Deshaun Watson last week. And the Browns beat the Ravens last week, which was a huge upset. It was insane.
Okay, so going back to like what I was said before about the full moon in Pisces, okay, that happened at the beginning of September, the first week of September, around the 7th. And so, you know, it was a really hard time for Pisceans, a lot of changes, good transformations, but you're not going to see those for like 7 weeks out, actually.
Okay.
In their game, in their performance, it's kind of right now just a little mediocre.
Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert's a Pisces. Okay. You know, so
I knew that for some reason.
We're gonna see better things come from both Justin and Tua, but like let them kind of like everyone's kind of moving a little slow right now.
So Pisces are a little slow right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. The mutable energies and how they're combined with the other signs, but he gets a 6 of Diamonds, which he's having to like be a little bit more nostalgic about his ball game, which means like he's really great like through high school, college, and he just needs to like get back to those good old days and like just remember where his team spirit and just like all of his passion is coming from. So you know, he's got to like move into that realm.
Well, and to that point, you know, Jim Harbaugh, new coach, you know, new playbook type situation, walking into all new stuff, all new players, new wide receiving core,
totally
new running backs,
full moon energy, because it's releasing things from our past. So it's like getting onto, you know, new programs, like, you know, and almost like not erasing the good memories of the past, but to like literally, you know, kind of put that aside and like, okay, we're starting all fresh.
And Chargers won last week, so and they looked pretty good.
Yeah, they did. They're better.
They've been a little shaky. Definitely shaky this season, but.
And they're going up against the Browns, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then that's another 6. So this should be interesting. Maybe it's going to be a tie, you know, like going into overtime, you know. But this is 6 of Pentacles. And so he's definitely, again, a little bit nostalgic, but this is about where his career standing is, like where his, energy is. Not that he overly feels like he needs something to prove, but it's more about...
kind of does.
Oh well, I think
Deshaun Watson leaves.
I think I'm being
put him
kind.
in. Okay,
let's see the outcome though.
All right.
3 of Hearts. So fans will love this game. You know, I think what's going to be a big factor is what's happening probably in week 10, because this is third-party energy, guys. So it's like what is going to, you know, how they play that week is really going to be more impacted in week 10.
Okay. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Right? Do we know who's gonna win though, or?
I just feel like, I mean, if I had to like say, going Chargers.
Okay. I feel the same way.
Let's go with the Pisces.
I feel like the Chargers have that one too. I think it was a little bit of a fluke. Not a fluke. I mean, there was a different quarterback, obviously, but I'm still blows my mind that the Browns beat the Ravens. Like I'm floored still.
Yeah, good job there, Browns.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. Anyway, Chargers for next week. Moving on. Okay, gotta love this game.
Yes, you
Eagles
do.
versus the Jags. We've got Jalen Hurts, who seems to be back. We'll see.
Yes.
Versus Trevor Lawrence, who definitely is not back. But
no. But he's still, okay, so Trevor Lawrence, guys, he's a Libra, and he's in his villain era right now. So even though he's maybe not playing up to his standard, you know, he's getting kind of a hall pass, let's call it. But he's not going to be able to get away next week with the Eagles, I don't feel. But he gets a 2 of diamonds, so there's going to be a lot of play, probably. This is Trevor Lawrence I'm speaking of. So 2 of diamonds, there's going to be a lot of connection with one particular player, because this is the partnership card. So whether that's, you know, a key running back or maybe a wide receiver, you know, look out for that. You know, I think a decent scoring game, especially for the Eagles, but you know, they're going to keep up with them, I feel. And the Eagles get the 9 of Hearts, of course, which is like almost a tag.
Perfect.
Yes, almost perfect. It's, you know, it's the guy who's like sitting with his arms crossed, you know, holding his all his passion and emotion into one thing, and I think that's exactly what Jalen Hurts brings to his game. So, you know, no doubt he deserves this card, if anything.
Okay.
Outcome of the game, I already mentioned, I feel like it's going to be Eagles, but yeah, 4 of Hearts. You know, might not be the best game as far as like show and sitting down with your popcorn and watching it, but it's going to be a Jalen Hurts show, I feel.
Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. You know, your whole team.
Right. Devontae Smith. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Lions versus Packers, Sunday at 4:25 p.m.
Ooh-wee.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
Jordan Love.
I know. Okay, so we got a Libra against a Scorpio. And I'm going to tell you, we're in Scorpio season right now. So... You know, Jordan Love had kind of a rough week this week, you know, in week 8. But, still won. I mean, I don't know how that
Pulled
happened.
it out.
Yeah. But I think that he's also one that he had like a little slump, I believe, and now he's shooting right back up.
Mm-hmm.
2 of Hearts.
Well, he was out.
You know?
He was out for a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Malik
Like,
Willis was playing.
Sorry, let me give him a little bit more love. Well, I mean, no pun intended, because he does get the 2 of Cups card, which does mean partnership and love. I think that all his fans, everybody's been really supportive of him, and him being in his season, it's going to show that within these next 2 games, he will even do a lot better than this past week. For sure.
Awesome. Good.
Okay.
I love Jordan Love. Everyone knows that about me.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see him.
Let's see Goff.
thrive.
Goff is,
Okay.
you know, like
Woo.
between last year, this year, I mean, he's been kind of like, you know, moving on up.
Yeah.
You know?
He's on fire right now. The Lions are on fire.
He's got the 4 Pentacles. Not a horrible card, but not the best card. I just think that he's kind of like the fighter in this game, and Jordan Love's like the make love not war guy.
Okay.
So, you know, let's see who really comes out. Queen of Pentacles. I don't know about that one.
What does that mean? Oh boy.
So,
All right.
I mean, this is a Virgo female. Does one of the teams have a female owner by chance?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. I don't know that either. But it's
That I don't know.
You know, I don't know either. But yeah, there's a influence by a female Earth sign with both of these two. So maybe they're both dating Earth sign females, and you know, I just think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be fairly close. I predict that it was going to have an overtime element to it.
Okay.
Potentially. Yeah. And it'll come down to the last wire. So, but I know I need to pick one, and I'm gonna go Green Bay.
All right.
Okay.
I actually agree. I think they're both really good teams, and everyone knows I love Jordan. Love me some Love. I think the Packers are really showing out and showing up. And the Lions are the same. So I feel like yeah, I don't know though. You know what? I might change. I might go Lions on this one. I might go Lions. I might have to go. I feel like the Lions are a little bit more of a balanced team than the Packers, but this could go. I mean, we could toss a coin.
Definitely a wild card game.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. We got Chiefs and
let's do Colts versus Vikings. Anthony Richardson versus Sam Darnold.
Okay. I'm not really myself too familiar, so let's just go straight to the cards on that. You know?
She can talk football, right? She knows her
like,
stuff.
Not too bad. But like, you know, we got a Gemini here working with oh, that's right, Aaron Jones, one of my favorite running backs. He's really my other one's Josh Jacobs, obviously, and but Aaron Jones is Sagittarian, and he has his Venus in Sagittarius. Even though the Vikings did not show up this week against the Rams, but you know what?
It was a close game.
It was
a close game.
But I'm gonna say that you know, Aaron Jones has been showing up and playing pretty well. Yeah. So Ace of Swords for the Vikings, and so that actually is a victory card. This is like the best card in the deck.
There we go.
So,
I mean, the Vikings have been obviously they were one of the undefeated teams. No, obviously no longer.
They have a pretty solid. This week was just a little off. But
Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
Can't beat him. I mean,
you know,
Anthony Richardson though, and the Colts are doing good.
They are doing really well. Let's give them a card. Oh yeah, heartbreak card.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just may not be a week for the Colts.
So Vikings are taking it week 9.
Okay.
All right, one more. Do you have time for one more?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Chiefs versus Buccaneers, Monday Night Football.
Oh my God, this is going to be a well-fought game. Okay, you got 2 fire signs going at it, guys. Or actually, no. Let's see. What do we got? We got Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he's a Virgo. Okay. But he's been all steady. He's the more, you know, consistent guy.
Yeah,
you know?
very consistent. They're obviously undefeated.
Right.
The only team that's undefeated in the entire NFL.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have
the Buccaneers also doing really well. Baker Mayfield has done really well this season. So, you know, obviously the team has... this is going to be a really good game. But
really good game. I think
I'm
it's going to be
Chiefs.
You're going to go Chiefs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a close game. And I think I'm going to go Chiefs too. Let's pull some cards. Okay. This was one for Baker Mayfield. 9 of diamonds. He's going to have a career, maybe a record-breaking type of a game. Okay. But it might just be high scoring. You know what I mean? I mean, no surprise that Patrick Mahomes wouldn't pull that off, you know? Right. Let's see what he gets. 7 of spades. So, choices. He's going to have a lot of requirements for him to be strategic. Okay. Like do some like really different types of plays. Maybe he's going to run the ball in a little bit more. Which is very
just to get a little bit more creative.
Yeah,
with
creative
the plays.
a little bit more. Yeah. you
Creative
know,
routes. Okay.
again, not. I mean, he has been known to do that. He's
Yeah,
been known
that's
to
what he
do like
does.
really like, yeah,
That's-
cool things. Oh, this is gonna be the favorite game of the week though.
Yeah.
Ace of Hearts, right here, guys. So everyone's gonna love this game or watching it. So turn on your TV Monday night for week 9.
And who's gonna win?
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay.
I mean, even though again Baker Mayfield is going to have a career break, or you know, like a really great game, and maybe several other players on that team, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, Patrick Mahomes, I think is just going to like talk it through. This is like all about communication and you know making it work for his team. So
Okay. All right, good. There you guys have it. Carrie, where can we find you?
IG, my Instagram is @333askcarrie, and appreciate any DMs if you'd like a reading yourself.
All right, guys. Happy Halloween.
Thanks. Bye.